Hello everyone, welcome back to Podcast on Wheelz, episode number 59. As we settle in today's episode, please sit back and enjoy the show. Okay, we're back. And as you can clearly tell, there's no microphone. So we are currently filming this on our phone.
Yep.
And we had a microphone with our computers, but we're going to be telling you why we've been gone and simply why we have no microphone. I'll get that out of the way. As of filming this episode, we are already graduated from college, and as we got computers from college as well, but when we graduated, we had a
I don't know if that was audible.
As we graduated, we had to turn those in, and that was the main source of how we filmed our podcast and where we filmed our podcast for a long, long time. But now we have no more computer, no more microphone, no nothing. So we have to basically go off the audio of our phones and increase audio as we edit this. So that is why our podcast may be sounding and looking different from now on. And if we do get a computer, I don't know when that'll be. Maybe if we can buy one, that'll be awesome. A cheap one, if there are any cheap ones. So, yeah, essentially, if we get a computer, we might go back to the old style and hopefully have the microphones, but we're not planning to film like everyday podcasts. But we're back.
We're back.
We're back, and we actually have time now, so hopefully we can get these out maybe monthly, or hopefully my goal is maybe one per week. But if that doesn't happen, we're not ever promising that they'll come out once per week. But we will promise, maybe not even promise that, being for real. Like, maybe it's hard to tell because we don't really know how the timeline will go right after this episode, because typically when we film these, fucking chaos happens the minute we upload it. We're like, God damn it. But that's okay. So, welcome to our podcast episode. We just wanted to slightly clear that out of the way, and the first topic we have is literally why have we been gone for almost half a year. June 25th would have...
It's so long.
Yeah, June 24th would have marked half a year since we've been gone. So we're back. But now we have to discuss why we've been gone. So, if we get our timeline right, back in December, we done the festive podcast holiday episodes.
Yep.
And during those episodes, Donny was facing pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got it right 3 days before we done the series.
Yeah, and essentially pneumonia is really horrible, especially with people who have weak ass lungs like we do. So he was battling that for 3 weeks, all the way into the new year of 2025, and so that wore him out after those episodes of holiday. Our holiday episodes, he was just worn out. We were uploading almost every fucking day. We were editing non-stop. We were filming non-stop, because December naturally is a busy month for us. But when you throw in a lung illness in there, where he's hacking up his lungs every few minutes and having a sore throat and feeling hot, having AD, like every few minutes, you don't want to do crap. But imagine having the busiest schedule, literally the worst timing ever.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. It was at the specific worst timing. It was before every single family event where we go to Poppy and Bobby's house or our grandma's house, and we just open gifts and we play games and we eat fancy dinners and stuff like that. That was before every single family event that we've ever had. And I caught pneumonia December 17th, 3 days before our Christmas break, maybe a week or 5 days before all the family events, and 3 days before the festive podcast, where we knew we were going to be doing this for 5 days straight.
Yeah, like,
so it was.
We start them on the 20th, and we start them on the 20th, and we go all the way to the 24th, because weirdly enough, that's just how the schedule works. I don't know why, but for some reason, when we start them on the 20th, they end on the 4th.
And there's 5 episodes. I'm like, what the hell?
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
But the good thing is, it gives us one day to do our Christmas live stream, which we missed.
We missed. Because
we completely missed it.
The 25th was bad at the night.
Yeah.
And in the morning, all throughout. Before the Christmas festive presents and games, I was having AD, I was sweating, I wasn't feeling good. And then at night, my pain was through the roof, my coughing was through the roof, everything. I think I was running a little fever that day.
Yeah.
I
And
was hot all day.
yeah, and I must preface, like, it was literally the worst timing of the month. Like, he couldn't have got sick in March where, you know, if he had that sickness, it might have just been during school or doing something, like, but not as busy. We wouldn't be uploading as many videos. We weren't going to be doing live streams, podcasts every day, every hour episodes. And it really was the worst timing, and I can never preface that enough, because you see how, if you go back to every December, you see that there's like more than 20 videos we upload in that one month. We upload 5 podcasts, each half an hour or an hour longer. We upload 1 live stream or 2 live streams, and we upload, so like, I uploaded maybe 10 videos that month, just me.
And this is when Doc was on the 4-day chemo schedule, so we were also uploading more. My chemo was still on the
and now, schedule. Maybe Christmases might get easier, but we'll talk about that later on, why Christmases might be a little bit easier on my end.
Maybe not.
Maybe, because essentially for me, while I was doing cancer treatment, that's a real big important word, so while I was doing cancer treatment, I had to do this 4-day chemo regimen to keep it out of, you know, just as my treatment. I had been doing that for over a year, and during that Christmas, it was only a few months before I ended cancer, and started going to more treatment, but not as invasive. And so during that time, I had to do 4-day chemo runs. You guys don't really know. Maybe you guys know. I have no idea. I can't really make an inference on what y'all guys are going through. But if you guys don't know, or do know, I was going through 4-day chemo rounds, and so I would have to upload every 4 days, because that's just the way we would upload. I would film what I wanted to film during the chemo round and upload it on the chemo round. That has always been my method for showing everyone my cancer journey and what we did during my cancer journey, and just how many adventures we took during my cancer journey. Essentially, this playlist is still up, you can see it. And so that just meant I uploaded almost twice a week, and typically it would end up being twice a week, just because of how the days worked and how often I was uploading. So think about it, 4 weeks in December, and I upload twice a week. That's already 8 videos on my part. Then my ALS anniversary, that's 10. Then the 5 podcast episodes, that's 15. That is 15 videos I have to work on during my part. Donny still and does upload every single Friday, and so that would be at least 4 videos that month, including whatever other fun videos we wanted to upload. So that might have been like already 10 on his part.
And William's anniversary, which was 5.
I know. And that's because, and we were also uploading my wife's anniversary, so that would have been like, I had to do naturally, without the podcast, maybe 12 videos myself in one freaking month. That's a lot. Now I only do 6 videos a month, including my ALS anniversary. And typically my wife, we don't do the we don't do the anniversaries anymore, specifically because she's already 1 year in, and we never really did a 1 year, and that sounds horrible, but like, it was the new year, and we were just really busy, and we always put busy being under our tie of like,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. As Doctor was talking, my wife had this really fucking foot twitch, where she currently feels the bottom of her sole of her foot twitching internally 4 times. We gotta get checked out, y'all. Thankfully, I don't have that problem. Dustin feet. I have no feet, so.
Today, come on, Donny. But no, that made me lose my train of thought. However, no, you're good. So in December, we would have to upload more than 20 videos in 1 month.
Dang.
I counted, and it was over 20.
Yeah, it was like 20 minimum.
Maybe 22. I think out of 31 days, we uploaded 22 times, consisting of maybe 15 plus videos, 5 podcasts, and we should have done 1 live stream. Dear God, we uploaded less than we were supposed to, and still got to 20.
Yeah, we just gotta...
That was so much! Yeah. And the reason why, and you're thinking, but Doc, you're putting more stress on yourself by uploading 5 podcasts. No, the 5 podcasts are the least stressful fucking thing out of all of it. Sure? We have to do the 4 videos, but each one deadline, edited, done. These we just sit down and talk. Like, I'm not even kidding you. These are the least stressful part of, because it's almost Christmas. You're excited, and we do the festival episodes. But every single time before that, video.
Okay, we're gonna move on to more topics because...
But the point is, we were really, really, really busy, and him having pneumonia was the worst timing ever. So, to go on past that, after that, I literally titled it New Year's Shit. Because so much stuff had happened in
6 months.
In 6 months. It's June. It's been half a year since our last episode, but almost, technically been in this month. And we've had a lot happen. If we can... And this list is just the big stuff we can remember, not the other stuff. Because I remember one day... That's a quick story, I promise. This is one small incident that we do not have on the list. It was on February 28th. Me and my husband had woke up, and I was like, telling my wife what I wanted to wear for that morning. And she pulled down the drawer on my shelf, and I heard a snap. And did our drawer break?
Yeah, my whole drawer snapped entirely at the bottom and sunken down into the shelf. So now it's permanently stuck and won't open. So, yeah, that was just one small moment.
Yeah, and we've had those small baby moments throughout these big moments. So, when you're hearing the date of the big moments, we've had small moments in between. Yep. So,
but I'm not going back to
start off really strong, cancer.
Yeah.
Our friend thought she had cancer. And it's not like as in, I thought about it and I immediately, I had cancer.
Yeah.
It was different. She had gotten tests. She was feeling all the symptoms. The doctors were even finding out some few things. So she really, the doctors were even doing tests like, you might have liver cancer. Liver cancer is horrible. And it can cause 10 times, literally, liver anything is horrible. But liver cancer can kill you within months to 2 to 1 year.
Yep, but update on that, she thankfully doesn't have cancer.
Nope.
She had some odd cysts that were kind of explaining the symptoms, and then she recently got checked out, I think maybe in April, and her cysts are completely gone. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have any other signs of cancer, so thankfully, as I know, no cyst and no cancer.
Yeah.
But we did legitimately thought, and everyone thought, and even the doctors thought, she had cancer, so obviously back then it was the time to worry, but she's all good.
Essentially because, this is going off the women thing. That's why we said thought, because thankfully, by grace of God, she does not have cancer, and we're so happy for her, the fact that she does not have cancer, and, but at the time it was just a really worrisome moment, and we didn't really want to film a podcast in the midst of that. We talked a bit about it on video, because videoing is easier than podcasting in our opinion. We can just quickly video it, but then creating a podcast on something that we're creating a podcast that we're creating a podcast and already talking about it when we already have countless of videos on it seems pointless in my opinion. But this is just a really, really, really big episode, hopefully that we can wrap up. So now the second thing, going off of that point, burned down. Our friend's house completely.
Don't say completely. Probably halfway.
A quarter of it burned down. And we're not meaning to laugh at the situation. It's just like, damn.
Okay, so I'll tell you the story.
And that happened in one day. We're not kidding.
I know more about this situation. So my good long friend of... That's not really good long. Okay, my friend of 7 years.
His long friend.
Yeah. I think since 2019, so 6 or 7 years now. She texted me that morning when I was strolling out to the bus stop getting ready for college and everything. She said, hey Donny, I won't be coming in today because, something happened, an emergency happened. And I was like, okay. I just checked up on her and said, is everything okay? You can tell me what happened. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And so everything was fine. And then 20 minutes after my friend almost had cancer, or was going to have cancer or something like that, obviously I was mortified. I was scared. And then she texted me. I said, hey, last night,
and we went home that day.
Yeah, we called out. We were like, nope.
Fuck this.
Nope, hell no. It's not even 1 o'clock. I'm going home. Because I was almost in tears. I'm not kidding. But she just told me the story. Like, obviously, part of her kitchen had
burned
down, which
my
is half their house. And so first of all,
their chimney caught on fire.
Yep. First of all, nobody was injured. Everyone was fine.
Yes, they're
they all
fine
went
now.
to their car. They packed up their stuff that they could save her.
And they're doing really well now.
The Red Cross helped them out and everything. And now I think they rented either like a trailer or another house, and they are doing really good. Everyone's safe. Everyone's fine.
Car and everything.
Yeah, they have a car and everything. They're good.
Yeah, they're great. They're doing
It was
great.
just tragic at the time.
Yeah, very.
And it probably still is.
And possibly the worst timing on absolute human earth.
Yep. And this is
not that we ever wanted it to happen.
I think this was like 1 or 2 days after recovering from pneumonia. For 3 weeks. So,
I made a silly face.
That's on that note.
On that note, enjoy your new year.
I think a part of her chimney either caught fire because there was something in it.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
We don't have the full story, but we have a lot of it.
But that's some of it, and she's doing wonderful and amazing, and everyone in her family is safe and sound, and their house is good. Pardon. Oh, their house is good.
Sorry.
God damn it.
In no shape or form, like we use humor.
She's doing wonderful, and everyone's safe, and they're all doing much better. And I do still check up on them, and I wrote them notes, and I gave them some like hot chocolate and food or drinks if they wanted.
I gave them nothing. And that sounds really, really cool on my part, but we literally have nothing.
So, I just gave them.
I gave her nothing.
I gave them like handwritten notes and like food and drinks, so I could help out
support.
One way, and I definitely gave out support to the family.
Yeah.
So. Definitely done my part.
Obviously, we asked.
Maybe not enough.
No, we did a lot. Because comparatively, like, we gave them gifts and things.
I gave her brother's Pokemon cards.
And I gave her support. I gave her my support, and I never laughed about it. We're not necessarily laughing at the situation. We were really terrified, and we were...
Yeah, trust me, I was depressed.
We were really scared at the time. But now that we can use humor to kind of get through the situation...
It's much funnier now.
It's funny in the sense that when we joke about it.
Yeah.
But if she's actually heard about it, and I'm pretty sure everyone in her family's heard about it to this day, but they've got.
I still definitely check up on them a lot.
Yeah, we check on them. We check up on them and try to make them laugh as much as possible, because I make people like. I don't know, my way of coping is just to laugh about it, and not during the height of the situation, when it's already passed, and I know everyone's doing well. I like to make a tiny joke about it here and there. Okay. That's always been my style.
We gotta move on.
And then Donny's depression. Do you want to just slightly...
Yeah. So, basically, during these events, having pneumonia and the, things that were all happening on the list...
And I do not want to interrupt you, I'm super sorry, but if we want to go into more depth about this, we can easily create another episode on this to just do 60. We won't do a two-parter, but if we want to ever go in more depth, we can freely just do that. We can say we're going to parts. Like, we're just going to do more in depth.
Okay.
If we don't have enough time.
So
this episode, we might glaze over it a bit, but we might do a more in-depth episode
hopefully
soon.
A quick rundown. But my depression over the course of the events and stuff was spiraling down out of control.
I wonder if they can hear the vent in the back.
Probably.
I don't know. I never thought about that till now. Sorry. Continue.
But basically my depression over time just kind of spiraled into its probably the worst it's ever been in a long, long time.
We have to talk about like 10 plus more topics in 10
Okay, so basically my depression was awful, and it was the worst it had ever been, and I had some thoughts. Okay, moving on. No.
That's a roast way to say that.
That was one thought. Shh, let's go on.
Tommy, damn.
Sorry.
Great uncle passed away.
I'm sorry, y'all.
February 4th. So, this moment... Essentially, our great uncle had fell back in December, and he went into ICU or hospital in that month of December, but sadly passed away February 4th when his health got suddenly super bad.
Yeah.
I still don't know what he passed away from, but we
don't know.
Yeah, we were very heartbroken when we found out.
Yeah. I was almost in tears.
Yeah, it was a very sad time, and we do wish that his family is doing well.
Yeah.
It's not a side of the family that we connect to often, us at least.
Yeah.
I don't know if our parents connect to them more.
They probably grew up with them more often than us.
Okay, and if we sound rushy, we're sorry.
I'm sorry. We have like literally 10 minutes until your maximum.
We forgot to tell you, on our phone, our screen recorder only allows us 30 minutes, so we have to finish all these topics in 30 whole minutes.
Yes, these episodes are only 30 minutes long. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
And then our sister had her baby February 25th.
This is a good thing.
Yeah,
but he is a cutie pie.
Yes.
You know, we're the uncles, and Doc is the aunt.
We're the aunt. Guys, I'm an uncle.
Yeah.
I'm an aunt.
Yeah, we just have a lot of fun with him, and we sometimes babysit him, like take care of him
for 10 minutes.
While his
because you can't really do anything.
Yeah, while his nanny takes makes some bottles.
Nanny is our mom.
We just take care of him, and we just hang out with him.
He's a cute little boy, and he's doing great, and he's
doing wonderful. He's 15 pounds. Woo! Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then
he's only my weight. I'm joking.
Donny, you're not 15 pounds. You'd be dead.
I'll be dead.
Okay, so on March 9th, I got my colostomy. I already have a full playlist on this, but the reason why I got a colostomy is because of almost 4 years of strenuous bowel routines, sitting on the toilet for an hour and a half. Wrote a lot down there.
And she has Crohn's.
And I had Crohn's disease, and I had ulcerative colitis, so I had many disorders affecting my colon, and I got a colectomy, prolectomy, and colostomy all in one. So, and I had my whole surgery, my whole recovery time was 10 weeks. So, but the little prolectomy, my Barbie butt surgery, is still healing and will not be healed in it's been healing, but I'm 2 months away from full recovery.
Yep.
Because the recovery lasts half a year.
Yep. Damn.
Yep.
But basically, that is just short colon, and I don't know if you heard it, but
Emmy got a...
no. Your stomach was making
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you heard that during the podcast, don't be alarmed. That's just Doc's stomach. It was so fucking loud. It was really loud, I think, prior before recording and while doing recording.
And there's one Champ video that shows it completely.
It's very, very quiet most of the time, and Emmy, our friend, also has an ileostomy because her small intestines is screwed up by Crohn's disease.
Yeah, to show it for short, colostomy is your colon, ileostomy pertains for your small intestine.
Yes.
Okay, and ileostomy is worse to have than a colostomy because the output and the consistency of the output there.
Yep.
And then Mom had a cyst March 10th, so basically Mom was at work and suddenly had pain. This is what we imagined. She had pain. Her friend took her to the ER, and they found out that she had a
cyst.
Ovarian cyst or just a cyst?
I don't know.
I think it was just a cyst somewhere in her... I don't know where it was, but she had a cyst, and then she recovered from it, and thankfully she's doing well now.
She's doing
She's had this
better.
before.
Yep.
And then after that, I got sick March 11th. It wasn't nothing big, but it was just a slight hoarse voice. Not slight, it was really bad. I had a hoarse... No, slight. I'll say slight.
It was slight. It wasn't bad.
I had a slight hoarse voice and was sniffly and had a cold for like 5 days. But I'm doing great now. I haven't been sick since. And then after that, then a while later, April 15th, Pappy, our grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our grandpa had
torn valves.
Yeah, he had torn valves and heart stuff. We have so many videos covering that, so please watch. This was unexpected, and he passed away for almost every single bit of that info.
If you don't have to watch it though.
You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but if you want to know more about it, please watch those.
Yep.
And then broke up with ex. Sydney, was it Sydney who broke up?
No, it was one of our friends.
Yeah, one of our friends. To cover it really quickly, one of our friends
had this girlfriend for like 2 years,
you can say it.
and
That's
basically the girlfriend was ignoring her and does not Just
not
ignoring
interacting
her,
with
not
him.
interacting
With her.
not him, not interacting with her as much at all. And so basically, she did certain things. She wasn't talking, and it was obvious that she wasn't interested. At minimum, wasn't interested in the relationship anymore. So they broke up after a 2-year relationship. It was sad, but
they're over it now.
Yep.
I'm positive. And then April 26th, I officially ended cancer because my cancer yay, that's good. So I had officially ended my cancer journey. And my cancer journey is still going, but I'm finally in remission of cancer. My cancer hadn't completely gone away, but it's in remission. And I do these chemo infusions to keep it at bay, and I do them every single month. But I also now, referring back to the beginning of the podcast episode, I no longer upload every 4 days. I upload every Sunday at 5 p.m. Because essentially, I had a random coffee fit. God damn it. So essentially, I just upload every single Sunday, and I'm doing great with that. And I actually love weekly vlogs rather than my 4-day because it does not stress me out that much. And I just do chemo infusions on the 26th of each month. So they're not like a weekly thing or anything. I just decided to upload weekly vlogs because I don't want to be gone for an entire month. That would be pointless.
Yep.
And then, but sadly, on the same day I start in my cancer, one of our family members named Sue passed away that day. On that day, we sadly don't know what, but we really hope that our family's doing well as they can be, honestly. And then Poppy's death, May 12th. Poppy had to take a turn for the worse on May 11th, which was Mother's Day, and sadly had passed away early hours of May 12th. Again, like we said, we visited some of his wife, Bobby, and they just packed everything up. We got a china cabinet in our house now, so we're just taking memorabilia with us, and we're just going through things right now, Yeah,
we are coping by putting new things in the garden, like some flowers and
if we have images, we can now finally pop them up.
It's fine.
I'll do it for you. So
please don't.
That's okay.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to put my editing upon us, so we're not going to put photos out. So that's all.
Visit my Tumblr. I think I have something on there.
Yeah. Anyway, we're coping by just putting like little memorabilia in our garden and in our house, and it's manifesting everywhere.
Okay, we have to talk about graduation.
Okay. Oh my god. Is that it?
No, but I had our chemo infusion May, and now we graduated. It was really awesome, and we had the graduation in the gym instead of outside because I thought it was rain, even though it sleeted a bit. And then we had the graduation. It was really, really, really fun. We got cards, we got cool shit.
We got a lot of stuff. And
we got $190.
One emotional moment, my friend of 6 or 7 years started running up to me and was saying my name, like, Donny. And we both, she wrapped her arms around me, and because I didn't cry at all during graduation, I got a little bit emotional, but I didn't cry. But then that's one time we cried, and we just hugged and cried each other for at least a good...
each other?
We cried and hugged each other for a couple minutes. It was awesome. Sweet. We took some photos and just kind of hanged out and got our diplomas and had a wonderful night. We had a ring stop that night. So graduation was an awesome ceremony, and I enjoyed it and I loved it, and I still love the fact that I graduated and I have my diploma.
Yes.
She has her diploma.
We have our diploma.
So we're doing good.
Okay.
Is that it?
So, yep. So,
all right, we did it.
Yeah, we did it. We are back now. I don't know if these are going to be rotation of weekly or monthly, or
we have no idea.
Even just whenever. So, we appreciate you all very, very much for being super patient with us and being part of these episodes. And we generally like podcasting. Please do not think that we did this because we hated podcasting. We were really exhausted. We had a lot of shit going on. But now that we're graduated and we have the time off, we hopefully have more time to do these episodes more frequently and hopefully more better. With this situation, we really, really hope that these podcasts are good for y'all to watch. We're trying to make them as great as best as we can. So we do thank you all so much for watching this podcast episode. Thank you all for sticking around, and we'll see you next time. Bye.